gonna ever back down from nobody. I don't care who it is. This is a brotherhood. And if we stand strong together, we can't be denied. If one of us goes down, we have another, and another, and another that's ready to fight. So let's hit this field and bang them, bang them, bang them. Somebody light me up.
It's time to huddle up. It's the Turf District Podcast. Welcome back to the Turf District, where we huddle up to talk all things Edmonton Elks and the CFL. And we are a proud member of the Canadian Football Podcast Network. Thank you for joining us this evening, whether you're joining us live on YouTube or Twitch or any of those fun spots, or Facebook maybe. Maybe you've joined in just for fun to see. Misery loves company. You just never know, but we're going to have some fun with that this evening. If you can, make sure that you add your comments and questions into whichever platform you are watching, as we are going to take some fan questions during the show today, and that then we'll be able to get through all of this together. So thank you once again. And as I said, if you haven't already, possibly throw us a like or subscribe on wherever you're watching. It helps grow the show. It does, help us to get our name out there and get more people to join in the district as we get together every Tuesday. Now, you may have also downloaded the podcast. Thank you. You might be listening to us on Edmonton Sports Talk Radio. Thank you for that, as well as we love everybody joining in. All right. The regular gang is here. It's another hostful episode. Let's start with the one and only Superfan Mike.
How is it going?
Just a quick signal today.
I know. Just a little,
no guns, no nothing. Oh wow.
No. We got to keep it all, different. Keep everyone guessing.
That's right. Yes. Well done. How are you doing, Superfan?
Certainly better than I had been the last few weeks. That's for sure. That's the joys of COVID. It's here for a long time, not a good time, but so it's still rattling around in there a little bit, but certainly not enough to keep me away.
Excellent. It was nice to have you back at the tailgate.
Yeah.
I felt like I was whole again, because I can't do that on my own very well, but it was lovely.
Oh, you did just fine the week I was gone.
Yes. So we did. The chili cook-off was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
I see in the chat people talking about it.
Yes. Yeah, Leanne was asking who won the child cook-off, which is great. I got a good giggle out of that before we started. That's outstanding. Not sure yet. The winner will be announced on the Elks herd tomorrow night. Yeah,
absolutely. That's which is absolutely good. A great time. It was a lot of fun this year because we had two different judging categories. We had the roving judges that went around, and then the fan vote, which is kind of fun. And unfortunately I didn't get to make the chili I was hoping to make this year, but Jedi Chick stepped in. She loves to make chili, so awesome. She made a couple of different chilies for us, and we got to serve those and got a ton of compliments. So I'm going to tell everyone that we won, and if Scout and Kathy say otherwise, they're lying. So
that's right. Okay. Perfect. Also joining us this evening, who is also at the tailgate and there for the game, Commissioner Kayla. How are you? Hey.
My stupid mic's not working again, so
we can hear you just fine.
I can hear me, but it sounds awful.
Oh well, we can hear you just fine. Oh,
and I can't, for some reason it won't let me change settings when I'm already in StreamYard.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
like
weird.
I'm trying to change it, and
I heard click, and now it should be on it.
No? Still showing.
Did you unplug it and plug it back in again? Because that would be
no, I can see it right there. It just won't select it.
Oh, silly things.
Silly.
Anyway, now I can't eat my yogurt.
You can change it on the fly, because watch, I can just change my camera to the Wilson cam that he's not there, but that's the Invisible Wilson.
I don't
Trust
know
me,
what to
he's
tell
around.
you. You want to like come down here and look and see that I can't?
No,
Like,
not
I'm
really.
not worth it.
No, not really.
That would be a
It's
bit of a drive.
That's right. It would also mean that the
Mr.
show would
Location.
be incredibly delayed after all of these fine people joined us. So let's
Oh,
not.
just get on your webcam, put it up on your dash, and drive down.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, great. It's just what everybody's looking for.
Yeah,
Excellently lighted for that, I'm sure.
Perfect.
Before we forget, if you haven't already, check out the shop, zazzle.ca/store/turf_district_shop. It's a great way to support the podcast and get all of your wonderful Turf District gear.
Merch up.
Like so. Yes. Boy, that was hard to sit up like that. That hurt. Ouch. All right.
Tilt your camera.
Yeah. That would be the best way to do it. All right, what we are going to do this evening, because we are going to we obviously have a game to break down. We have a similar result for the end of the season, that we will be done playing football before November hits. So we are going to talk about that, but then we are going to take some fan questions. So throw your questions in the chat on whichever platform you are watching on, and we will get to some of those this evening. We did have some sent in early, so we'll make sure we get to those. And then we'll do our regular, the return, I guess, of Horde and Tell, and we will set up the game for Calgary this week. So let's get into it. Let's tear the Band-Aid off and carry on forward. The Elks playoff dream dissolves at the hands of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Riders winning 28-24 on Saturday. It was a tough game, closer game than the week before.
Yeah.
Definitely not. I called it uncomplimentary football because
absolutely
they couldn't help themselves. Like one phase would be great and the other one would suck, and then the other one would be good and the other one would suck. It's just like you can't buy a combo of everyone playing well at the same time. So,
well, you can't. We did at one point. It's there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, sure.
For a few games, it happened.
Yes.
So it's
there
possible.
Was hope. Yes.
But we like to live in the impossibility on this team. So
sometimes. Absolutely. Yes. All right, Commissioner, you start tonight.
Oh, don't list me.
What do you want to talk about for this game?
I mean, hey, at least we can have a great time at Grey Cup because there is zero pressure of our team.
It is true.
Going in. So, I honestly don't really know what I want to talk about because it's just another.
Do you want to talk about the child cook-off? Because that would be.
I mean, I feel like there's a little Hansel and Gretel thing behind there somewhere. Leanne.
Interesting.
Yeah. We can talk about tailgate. You know what? This tailgate was a lot more vibrant than the last one. But that's what happens when riders are in town. They know how to bring their fans, and they know how to bring a variety of people actually to the game, because our own Argo fan, who is Dave/Ginger, came for the chili cook-off. Like, who does that? Oh, right, CFL people. That's who do that.
It was pretty cool.
Well.
And a killer whiskey for the whiskey club, I must say.
Yes.
That peanut butter whiskey was yummy.
For the little sip I had, yes, it was great.
Well, if it helps any, it smelled great on Andrew for the rest of the evening.
I'm so sorry. That
shirt's gonna be like, I kind of hope it stains so that every time I wear it, I can be like, look, Kayla comes with me everywhere I go, right here.
It was an off day, all right? It was a very off day for me.
Liz lived through you. She was at the game, even though she wasn't at the game, right?
It was 2 beers, a whiskey, and food. So yeah.
That's impressive.
Everything you could ever want.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's put it
if it actually went in, that would be
good.
Yes. Superfan, talk about the game. Tell me what you want to talk about.
Oh man, so much. So much. our favorite punter mom in the chat sort of says a lot here. Too many penalties. We have
Agreed.
93 yards in penalties, and it's less about the yardage and more about the time we would make them take a penalty, and then we would take a penalty that was offsetting.
Exactly.
Which was very upsetting. So
A
yeah,
lot of setting.
Incredibly disappointing for that. Yeah. What happened to the run game? I don't get it. Like
I
that
don't
seemed to
either.
be our strength. We were getting almost 50% of our yards from the run game, and we completely abandoned it.
Mhm.
At one point, we had, I mean, Justin Rankin had 4 carries for 13 yards. You can't just give a running back 4 carries.
No.
Javon Leake had more. I mean, but nobody had 10. We had what, 30 yards?
Yeah, he had a total of 30 yards.
Yeah, between everybody.
Yeah,
At least
3
Leake had
rushers.
at least Leake had a touchdown. Yeah, one of them's a quarterback.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
So really, only just Leake and Rankin were running the ball. Yeah.
Well, I will give for the one, I'll give a little, like, I'm going to try and find a silver lining a little bit, but the I formation fake and then toss to Javon Leake, beautiful play.
Yeah,
Love
well
it.
played.
Love it. Want to see more of that. I'd be on board, but yeah, that was like the only good run play, because the rest there were like hardly anything.
Yeah. And the other thing was Beatty missing that convert. Had he got the convert, it's a 3-point game at the end, and we're just trying to get a field goal. We don't have to get a touchdown. And who knows, maybe that changes the play calling. I mean, woulda, shoulda, coulda, but it's just one of those times when we just really needed him to make that one, unfortunately. And everyone does it, right? I mean, Sean White missed several point afters in his time here. And he is one of the greatest of all time, but it's just, it sort of sums everything up for this season.
Yeah. No kidding. This also sums up this season.
I can float it back, car in that carpet. There's Clinton as a trap roll.
Anyway,
that was loud.
Right? I know. It's great though. I love that cut. I'm
here to see the freep.
Here you go. This is for the this is how Kayla felt.
It's just like it's the decisions on and off field are just so, they really have me scratching my head right now. I'm very confused, and maybe that's why I don't have the words, because I can't. I mean, you can bitch about something for days on end, but when you're actually like trying to figure out why they're doing these things,
if you figure it out, let us know.
Yeah, exactly. Let them know too. I do think that the combination of penalties and turnovers were just killer in this game.
Again.
In the last 3 games.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But the turnovers, the Gino one, I get what he's trying to do. I get that he was trying to, bobble and then make the fantastic catch, but let it hit the ground. Like at that point, you're not catching it, right?
Yeah.
Another interception, and then the Curly fumble. I get it was a great play by the Saskatchewan player, like a great punch. But at that point in the game, when you need a touchdown and you already have the first down, put both hands on the ball, please.
Yeah.
Like that was so costly to even have a chance to get back in the game.
That's standard football.
It was so frustrating to sit and watch.
Yeah.
So, Kayla, you have any good in this game?
We didn't get blown out.
Okay. That's a good
one. There was no injuries, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either.
Somebody went in the tent. I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it was Burton Cron.
Oh, really?
Oh, well, okay then. Well, there you go.
But I think he went back in the game, so.
Oh, okay.
Really not too serious.
Okay. No major E.
No lasting injuries.
Yes, correct.
Perfect.
I mean, like, given the score, you wouldn't think that it was such a terrible game, like with turnovers and penalties and stuff. makes you a little question how the Riders are gonna advance a little further when they play us and we play terribly, but they can only get out by 4 points. But that's just, again, that is our whole season, like, minus playing Winnipeg. But
Correct. Yeah.
so that and did you Curly have like a decent 122 yards?
120. Yeah.
He did.
So that's
Yep.
like good. 10 receptions.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry. I'm finding it really hard because my Saints just lost last night too, and I'm just like, oh, double beat
Yeah,
down.
Yeah.
Double beat down.
Steelers too. It was
I
bad.
can Casey.
Look at that. I don't care. Yeah, it's great.
Other
That
than
was
Vikings.
easy. What's that?
I have some
Oh,
positives.
Vikings,
Sorry,
yeah.
not for football, but I got to take photos for Odell and Dean Faithful
Oh,
after
that's
the game.
awesome.
That was nice. They just asked me real quick, and Odell was like, "It's a professional camera, you guys. Like, stand, like, do this, do this." He's like, I want your professional camera." I'm like, "It ain't that professional, but thank you so much."
He was pretty happy with them. That was cool that he came over and asked you. I thought that was pretty awesome. So
yeah, so not kind of football, but not football. So spirits
fair.
still
I'd take
seem
it.
a little high.
yeah. Mike, you got any positives here?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I loved seeing was Zach Mathis.
I
Got
agree.
6 catches on 7 targets, finally showing why they gave that first round pick in next year's draft up for him to take him in the supplemental draft.
So
I mean,
he's 6'7", right?
He's
He is.
6'7", and you cannot coach height. So, and he has just a massive wingspan. Like Andrew and I have seen him at practice where he was like out. He doesn't need to jump to get the ball over any of the DBs. He just puts his hand up and it's 8.5 feet in the air. And it's just absolutely outstanding. For some of those balls that have been thrown at other receivers that, are way over their head, we got a guy now. So
It's good. He can just be like, "Yep, I got it." Yep, no
yeah,
problem.
exactly. He can touch his knees and he can touch the, top of the goalpost. So, yeah, I was really happy for him just to be able to see him have that good of a game. And then as well on defense, Nick Anderson, another great game.
Yep, 100%. I actually loved that Oakman and Jamin kind of they did do well in the middle of that line. Jamin clearing for that Nick Anderson sack was he took 2 guys and just moved them out of the way, and then Anderson just jumps in. So points out to Thick Six for that. Oakman with the dive in on the short yardage to push them back, and then Devondrick Bynum getting the tackle to stop them on the second and short. Awesome. Like there are moments, right? There's just these moments of the catch by Gino on the sideline where he just gets his 2 feet
both
in.
feet in. Yeah.
The TD catch by D Mitch over top, right, of the defender.
Great game from D Mitch.
Just like there were so many good things, but then you look at this, they have this great big 8-minute drive down the field, finish it off with a beautiful touchdown, and 23 seconds later, Bratton, I don't know what he was thinking, running after the guy, tries to strip the ball, just tackle him, and tie game. And then then they march down again and get a touchdown, and then not under 2 minutes later, Saskatchewan scores again. It's just like, come on, guys, like
Leanne has a post there. I mean, we were robbed of a Thick Six.
Absolutely. I told him after the game. I said you should have had that one. But
that is a
brutal. Thought we had that one. Now the other one I want to talk about, because I'm curious on your opinion on this. MBT was a little frustrated after the game and during the game when there was a call down review on the catch
non-scoring play
on the one. Now was he touched when he caught the ball? If he rolled in, then it is a potential scoring play.
But they said it touched the ground.
I know. So I just, and the funny thing to me was the guy came and marked it at the 1.
Yep. It was called down at the 1.
Yeah. And then they were doing the right thing, running up to run the next play so that they don't have to challenge it. But I believe it's the rolling into the end zone that they thought it was a. Did he actually catch it and score, or did he? I don't know, but oh man, and it was close. But from my vantage point where I was sitting, it did look like it bobbled. When I saw the replay, I thought, oh, maybe his hand is under there, but it's yeah, it was pretty close. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, Blake says it's, quote, potential scoring plays in the rule book. So
right, yeah. So, which it is, but yeah. And nobody actually challenged that play. It was a call down from the command center,
right,
and that's the part actually that MBT was frustrated about, because he said they have to challenge that, and if you get up to the line and snap the ball before they challenge it, then oh well.
Yeah.
Right. Like then
it's inconsistent when the command center decides to intervene. And that's what's frustrating, I think.
Yeah.
I agree. Yep.
Now, it's very likely that Mace would have challenged.
Yes.
But make them have to do it.
But then does he have that challenge for pass interference at the end of the game?
Well, he would have been correct. So he would have had it at the end. So.
Oh, I wasn't sure if that was their second one or not. I thought there was one early. So maybe not. I could be wrong. But
either way, make him have to do it.
Yep. And Jarius lost his challenge, but not on anything, not on actually getting to challenge anything. Correct. Because he, I will give him credit for owning up after the game and saying, that was my mistake. So, yeah, he is a rookie head coach. We got to remember that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's be honest. Outside of Chris Jones, who hasn't been a rookie head coach in Edmonton in the last 25 years.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
We don't do rookie head coaches.
Yeah.
Right?
I think we've only had 3 or 4 in the history of the team that have not been rookies. So,
well,
that's gravy.
It's nice of us. Yeah. Just because I was talking about it earlier. Oh, there he is. There he is. The Wilson Cam. Buddy. Yep. All right. I get a little. I don't really like where that shows me, so that's not very good. But anyway, there's the puppy dog. Right, puppies? Yes. Okay. So. Only one thing left to add for this game. Jake Julian for MOP.
Still,
yes.
I retweeted something that Stats Junkie posted today. He does every week updates who the top kickers, punters, quarterbacks, everything else in the league, and by a large margin, it is Jake Julian.
Yeah,
like it is not even close.
So he should be we already know the league MOP is probably not, in the cards, but he should be the Elks MOP, and he should be our nominee. He should be the special teams. He should win special teams this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's he gets my vote. Yeah.
Would there even be like a runner up or like someone to challenge that?
Well, you have one for the West and one for the East, so there would have to be somebody. It'll probably be a returner.
No, I meant on the team.
Oh, on the team.
On our team? No.
Yeah.
No, not a person.
I mean, D. Mitch has been doing all right, but it's 100% it's Jake.
And Anderson has been good on getting some special teams tackles, but Julian's knocking it
most outstanding punter.
MOP. Correct. Yep, should be that. Yep. Forever. We all get that. There's the shirt. Julian. Most outstanding punter.
Blake just throwing shade right now.
What? Not Nathan Rourke for MOP. He said, "Oh, well,
straight up.
Oh, that is a gauntlet thrown down.
That sure is. Yeah, exactly. Well, he's going to be playing for you for a while, so I would, I'd learn to love him. Yeah, exactly. Well, let's get to some fan questions because that's what we said we would do this evening. I got a couple to start, and then Mike, you can pull some out of the chat. We're going to start with Joel, our friend Joel, backwards hat guy on Twitter, asking, what do we use to wipe the tears? And what do you use, Mike?
So jealous.
I had a little pre-horde sneak peek there.
What do you use to wipe the tears there, Kamish?
I'm out of tears.
Yeah, me too. I was actually going to be my answer. I'm like, I don't cry anymore because it's so normal. It's just like, whatever. We did the same thing.
I use that banner that says we've won 14 Grey Cups in the last 65 years.
I've
That
only
works out.
seen
Around here
one,
somewhere.
so that means
Yeah.
not a heck of a lot to this
Well,
youngin.
that's what we use.
Mhm.
All right. Another question from our friend Alex from Piffle's podcast.
Aw.
Who should be the head coach next year? Has J-Jack done enough to be given the permanent job? Superfan.
I don't know that we can answer that. It's going to depend more on what he tells the potential GM. We don't know who that's going to be. There are rumblings that a president has been decided to replace Rick Lawlisher, who's the interim president. They're going to want to put their GM in place, and the GM is going to want to put their head coach. So to me, it's going to depend. Can J-Jack talk to that GM and say, here's my plan for the next year, 2 years, 5 years, etc., how we're going to get this team back to how it was 9 years ago in 2015 when we were, in the West Final in 2014, win the Grey Cup in 2015, a threat to win the Grey Cup every year. So if he has something that seems logical to that GM, then I think he's going to be it. But we don't know what that is. So it's really hard to say. I think he's done some really good things, but he has certainly made some big mistakes as well. He'll be the first to admit it. So, but if it's not him, then who? Like, are we going to get another first-time head coach?
Correct. Because there'll be lots of conversations about, is it Buck Pierce out of Winnipeg? Is it Jordan Maximic out of BC?
Yeah.
Oh my God, why can't I never remember this
Mark
guy's name?
Killam?
Special. Thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
out of Calgary.
I wonder if Mark Killam might have a head coaching job somewhere else.
Yeah, I think that, and that's what I was going to say. As soon as that comes out there, then I feel like Dave makes the move to GM, which he should anyway, and
Well,
or not even there, possibly.
the question is, if he makes the move to GM, he might have a different option he wants to go with for head coach.
Oh,
because his brother is also coaching on this team. So is it?
So then where does Killam go? Because he doesn't stick around for that, because he's been waiting for his turn.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I heard something. I can't remember where I heard it, but it's like, would he even bother at this point? Because his name has been thrown around so much when it's come to.
He's been there
the
19
EE.
years.
Yeah.
And he's still he's a coordinator and he's an associate head coach.
Yes.
So he's certainly doing a lot for Dickinson right now. But he's been passed over every single time his name comes up.
Exactly.
The rumor was he was going to be a strong nominee for our head coach 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then if he had been, we would have had, who was going to be the offensive coordinator, but it was going to be Corey Mace's defensive coordinator.
Yeah. Corey Mace's defensive coordinator. And
it was Mark Mueller.
Yeah, Mueller. Yeah. That's what I thought. So anyway,
What should I could have?
Here's the thing that, well, Commissioner, you former head coach of the New York Jets.
Oh my God.
Oh no, probably not.
Might need a whole bunch of escorts for that one.
Yeah,
but I mean by like security escorts.
Well, you never know. That's not my place to judge.
It's mine.
Yeah, that's fine.
We need a lot of
judgy not or something.
Hey?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh my. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Kayla said it.
Extra dirty.
Yeah.
Okay, Kayla, what do you think? What do you think about head coach?
I have absolutely no idea. You always these are like the questions that I am not good at answering because I am not skilled in that area of football whatsoever.
I vote Andrew.
That would be a downgrade in a massive way.
Well, you don't know. You don't know.
I don't know nearly enough about football to do that.
Well,
I enjoy watching it.
Yeah, and this is what sucks. I actually really like Jarius.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do.
I'm not saying you should bad choice.
No. I'm just saying like it would just suck if he didn't get the job. But that's a personal thing, right? Like It's very confusing, some of these decisions that are being made in all realms, not just play calling, but just, we can get to this later, but the fact of who they're which ones?
I vote Kayla for the vibes.
I don't think anyone wants that.
There's
No.
the hashtag. Everyone
Extra
does.
dirty.
Yeah, no, no.
Um,
Yeah. So, and the thing that I do like when we're doing the veils, he always takes ownership
Yep.
mhm,
and he doesn't actually make excuses for anything,
Yep.
unlike other people. But
He's
Uh,
even brought stuff up when he wasn't even asked.
yeah.
Yeah.
And especially that apology, I think that's what really won me over to J Jack was when he apologized to Gino. He didn't need to do that.
No, he didn't.
He
But
didn't need to do that. I
but he
mean,
did,
but he
being
did.
that he's a human, right? Like that's
And that's
yeah.
what's hard about it is like the emotional side versus the business side. And the business portion of me from like I'm very confused with a lot of this stuff that's going on, but I also really like the guy.
He's-
So
Great dude.
he
Yeah.
and
I
so
think
stoic. I can't read that, man. When we're doing like when you're doing the interviews, I've taken pictures and every single time I can use the same ones from like weeks back because he always has the same expression.
is it this? Because I'm talking to him. Like that could be yeah.
It's up. It's a little chin up.
Yeah,
Side to
probably
side.
like what you talking about, Willis? That's what I'm getting.
I tried to get a smile, but he squinted. So I was like, dang it.
Yeah. So my feeling on Jarius is there's two different things that we'll decide for. As you said, Mike, it depends on who's in the other positions.
Yeah.
Do I think Jarius has made some rookie head coach mistakes?
So is every rookie head coach. Yeah.
Correct. Absolutely. Jason Moss, who is now looked at as one of the best head coaches in the league, made a lot of rookie mistakes that people keep talking about, throwing Gatorade bottles and making poor
That's
choices.
iconic.
Anyway,
Abusing a poor headset.
correct. Yeah. Rookie head coaches make some mistakes, and J-Jack did make some of those, but like you said, he owned up to them.
Mhm.
Do I think that he brought the team together more in a fact that they're able to work together with what they have? I feel like he did. I don't know that they succeeded every time, but that's what happens when you have this big switch over kind of,
Mid-season.
early season, right?
Yeah.
It's really hard to kind of recover from that. So I give J-Jack a lot of credit for that. And yes, he is great to talk to and is a good dude. The other part is does J-Jack want to be here? Depending on what happens with those other positions. Now, if the president comes in and decides, okay, you know what? We need to have a little bit of consistency. We're going to keep G-Roy at GM and J-Jack, we'd like you to stay as head coach. Well, I feel like there's a really good chance that happens.
Mm-hmm.
But if the president comes in and goes, no, I want another GM, I don't, it's really going to depend on who that is if J-Jack is here. Do I think he deserves another shot? I do.
I do too.
The thing I always would say is, would I be upset if the interim tag was removed and he was named the head coach for next year? No, not at all. Wouldn't be upset at all. I think he brings a lot of upside to the position. Like you say, we've had too many times where we have trained a first-time head coach and they've gone somewhere else. And I would really love it if we could reap the benefits of the wisdom they have learned from making those mistakes rather than another team making them. So do I think he's got a lot of potential, a lot of, like I said, upside? Absolutely. So if he's the guy, I'm fully behind him going forward in the 2025.
Well, I know like in the interview he had with Morley yesterday, he said that like this is what he wants to do. He like said he always knew he was going to be a head coach and blah blah blah, but he wants to be here. He wants to do this position, be in this position. So yeah, it's really hard, especially he hasn't even had a full season.
Yeah,
No.
sure.
So
no, he's
and even the first
had
few
13
games, it's really
he'll have 13 games. He's had 11, right? So
yeah, but even those first few games, it's really running Chris Jones's team. Like he was in charge of the offense, but everything else was under Chris Jones' purview. So he's had time to get through that. So to me, it sort of started when we had that winning streak start. We had a lot of energy coming up. And he doesn't seem to be as down on the players when they're not having a great game.
Mhm.
Previous administrations, you'd always be like, they were terrible today.
Yep.
Whereas today, so yeah, we didn't play as well as we could, but I know by the end of the week, we're going to be hitting on all cylinders. And that kind of positivity I really like in some of the messages that he sends.
And even if it's just like not fake positivity, but it's just kind of like pulling at the purse strings, like trying to like get at least it's something, like
Yep.
fake it till you make it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, and from what I understand, his interactions with the players are very straightforward.
Yep.
It's not, like
He was
hey,
a player, right?
And he didn't
was
play well.
there.
I tell you didn't play well. If you played great, I tell you played great, right? So,
Yeah.
So I think that's good. I know that a lot of people will likely disagree with him coming back just because of the whole quarterback situation. And
But how much is that him?
And I don't know. That's the thing.
We don't know. Yeah.
Don't know at all. So it's a tough one.
I mean, there's a lot of people talking about this in the chat.
Okay.
I like what he's brought. He did sort of apprentice for the role he's in now under Wally Buono.
Yeah.
And in fact, in 2012, don't forget, he was also with the Toronto Argonauts, winning that Grey Cup. So he's got a few different mentorships in there, but he's ultimately making his own. And I think that's great. So Big Fan 2019, can we bring Jason Moss back? Jason's doing pretty well right now. So I just don't see him being like, now his family does live here. So it's an ideal situation for him. So maybe down the road, that's something he wants to do. But for right now, like he's doing really well. He's
with Danny. He's getting
the reigning Grey Cup coach. So I don't see it happening. Nope. Ken says both Jarius and Giroy are rookies. Does that new president go that route? It really depends. How their body of work so far and what they're planning for the next year, 2 years, 5 years, that sort of thing. So we will see.
Well, because even Giroy, at the beginning of the season, he didn't get to make all the decisions. You saw decisions come as soon as he took over, right? And he started to tinker, right? And it's different when he'd have to make all the decisions. Yeah,
on a full off season, I think we'd see a lot of interesting. I think that we really maybe should look at grabbing Jason Moss whenever possible. Tim Capper has a dissenting view on that.
Oh, you can't have him. All right, well. How about we trade you?
Yeah, you said that about Giroy, or not Giroy, Gino. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Ken has an interesting question about Jarius. Do you give him a multi-year contract based on how he's performed this year? I'm not a big fan of 1 year contracts myself.
Yes, me too.
Because it's
I agree with you. I mean,
yeah. You need to sort of make your plans thinking you're going to be here at least next year, going into it. So.
Yeah, I think a 2-year deal to start is not a bad thing for a head coach that had an interim tag and then gets isn't that basically what they did with Bob Dice? They gave him, he was the interim and then he got a 2-year tag. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
So there is a precedent for that. And I don't think that's a bad thing.
Now, Ken also says, if a new GM is chosen, I do not know in what Marvel universe Jarius has offered the job. On our own team in 2013, we got a new GM in Ed Hervey, and he kept Kavis Reed as the head coach for that year because he wanted to give him the opportunity under this with different players under the new GM to earn the role. We had a terrible year in 2013 with 4 wins and 14 losses. So, I believe that the right GM might look at it and say, yeah, I'll give him another year to give it a shot. So we'll see.
Well, the other part of that is we did improve. I mean,
like stats,
not by leaps and bounds, but we did. I mean, when we beat Calgary on the weekend, we'll have 50% more wins than we had last year. So,
that is sad when you say it like that.
I know, but that's truth.
I know, but it's like oh goodness me.
So I mean,
and not only that, it's really since we got our new head coach, like it's not even a full year,
right? Yeah, exactly.
To get that many more. So
yeah, so that's that I do. I get the frustration, and I get the fact that we're, not winning makes you think, well, why is this guy giving another chance? But like you said, Mike, then who? And I don't want to retread, right? I don't want an old retread, and I don't like, we keep going with the rookies. I agree with you. Why can't we just have somebody that starts to build some experience? So,
and you got to have consistency. You can't just keep resetting every couple of years and expecting these great results.
Exactly.
because
And that's just what
the
we've been
reset that
doing.
we've done 3 times now has done nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's exhausting. That's exhausting for the fan base too.
Absolutely.
I mean, you have this elation because you think, oh, this is a new generation, a new team, a whole new EE. And it's like, well, is it though? Because like, look at the past. Like, look at the last couple of times. It hasn't produced anything effective.
Yeah.
So at what point do you just say?
We've had a few first-time head coaches do well for us. I mean, Chris Jones was a first-time head coach when he came here in 2014. Yeah. Went from a 4-14 team to 12-6 and then 14-4. In the 2 years Jones was here the first time. So it certainly does happen. Machocha won in his first year as a Grey Cup. Tom Higgins won in his 3rd year as a head coach. So it certainly does happen.
It's more of a unicorn than anything. And would you consider JJ a rookie next year? Because again, we're looking at, he hasn't had a full year. So
no.
Where would you place him? Would
he would be like a Bob Dice to me.
Yeah, he'd be a sophomore. Yeah.
Speaking which, Ken says that Dice got a 3-year deal to be head coach. So
okay, there you go. So thank you for clarifying that, Ken. I appreciate it. And I just know that's the thing. And there's so many question marks surrounding the team. That it's really hard to get, but this is a great conversation. So so I appreciate that.
A few
better
more
than talking about a loss.
Yes. A few more suggestions. I think Big Fan 2019 might be feeling a little dizzy.
Fan Mike is GM. I would know for that.
No. If nominated, I will not run. If elected, I will not serve.
Okay.
What about president?
No, these are different skill sets than I would bring, and many might argue that there really aren't any skills in that skill set. So no, I shouldn't be anywhere near steering a football team in any direction whatsoever. So
Mike's solution would just be like, did you try turning it on and off again?
Right.
Or off and on again. Off and on again.
Every player.
Unplug the player.
Call to Jarius every day. Did you try turning it off and back on again?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have you tried putting Boris Beatty in rice?
Line of the show.
There we are.
Line of the show. That was outstanding.
And if it's not me as GM, perhaps we could put Gizmo Williams as a GM or head coach. He's always at the games. Can you imagine how many delay of games penalties we'd have when people were trying to figure out what he said? The what now?
Imagine the post game scrums.
It'd be fantastic.
What? Try that again. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
On the plus side, Jed would have a job for life.
That's true.
Translating. You gotta love.
I just want him to come in those glasses that he wears in the ad
intro video.
Games. Yeah. The Coke bottle glasses and the cat, and do the translation for Giz at every media spot. God. It would be unbelievable.
You absolutely gotta love the deaf guy as the translator.
It's perfect.
Hugo's got a great point.
Okay.
He says, do we want our head coach, Jarius, or otherwise, to also be a coordinator? So if Jarius does have the interim head coach removed, interim part, do we make part of that being you need an offensive coordinator?
I would prefer not, but I don't know.
Prefer not to say that's our condition?
Exactly. I would prefer that they have to get another coordinator.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a condition is that he gets a separate person to be the
sorry, then yes, that's what I would prefer. Yeah, I would prefer that he didn't do both.
To save on money, or is there a reason why you would want this? Because it feels like every time we split roles on this team, it never pans out.
No, I don't think anyone wants it. But because we have finally paid everybody off, and we will have paid off Chris Jones by game 5 of next year. Possibly it might even be the end of this year because there might have been an out in his contract. So I don't know how that's all going to work. That's to Larry Thompson and the commissioner and everything else. So the other commissioner, to make that, if it's possible, I would love to see somebody else in that role, because we've just seen too many. It's bad enough when it's head coach and GM, but when it's GM and offensive coordinator, GM and defensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, it just seems like get something you can focus on one thing and maybe you're not making as many of those mistakes.
Well, the GM side has to be separate. I don't care how they do it. The GM has to be separate than the head coach for sure.
Yes.
And the head coach versus coordinator, the only thing that I'll say about that is if you do head coach and coordinator, you can probably pay the guy a little more, so he's more likely to be here. But he has to have like a really good offensive assistant or something that is basically kind of running it, and he can call plays or like run his offense or something. Then I can see it. But otherwise, I'd rather the head coach just be the head coach and have separate coordinators.
I look at it a different way. I say that if you make them so they are a coordinator, then they focus much more of their time on that phase of football. So they're not worrying about the defense. They're only worrying about the offense if they're an offensive coordinator or defense coordinator, and leaving everything else to the coordinator. And that's it. To me, like, you should be that sort of second set of eyes or second brain looking at these plays or these calls and everything else, and being like, are you sure about that? But if you're focused on one phase, then you're really not able to do that. I don't think so.
Well, especially if you're a rookie, you can't even
right.
This job is hard enough.
Right. In a couple of years, if Jason Moss is like, I want to be head coach and offensive coordinator, well, he's been successful at both.
Yeah.
So maybe we can let him do that. But like you say, Kayla, if this is a guy that hasn't got a full season of head coaching under his belt, let's let him just be a head coach for
give him some time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Pull it back.
All right.
We did actually have one head coach hired in the last 20 years that did have experience. However, that was Scott Milanovich, and he never coached a single down for us because it was during the COVID. Ken would like to have seen what Milanovich would have done if it not been for COVID. We're kind of seeing that in Hamilton, aren't we?
Well, and that's the thing. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't.
Different people, but
I will tell you the thing that I was excited about with that coaching staff, though, was well, the one's going to be blatantly obvious was that AJ Gass was doing special teams, and I whatever gets him into our coaching realm. You want to talk about okay, we're talking about like, oh, we need like a rookie head coach. If they said it was AJ Gass, I don't care. I'm happy. That's great. Carry it on. Yep, AJ can be here all day. Very, very happy.
No fanboy there at all.
None. I will only wear that jersey to every game. Yeah, exactly. 77 forever.
He's been a head coach before too.
Correct. He has been a head coach at
the last. But he's never been a CFL head coach. The last time we had a rookie CFL head coach that had head coaching experience elsewhere was Hugh Campbell.
See, this is all coming together. Like,
just saying.
I'm just saying he knows, guys. It could happen. He could bring Jed in to run the special teams. That would be amazing.
Can you just pen a letter and send it?
Pen a letter. Yeah. Dear Mr. Thompson, I would like to put forward my vote for head coach.
Many have suggested I should be GM, but instead
many have suggested that I should be the president, but and I could make the decision on my own. But in light of that, I feel like you would be well off to hire one AJ Gass as the head coach of the Edmonton Football Club, which would make me very happy, among other people.
That's right.
Signed.
And more importantly, I would like you very much.
Correct. Yeah. I might even invite you on my podcast if you did that. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the thing there. And all of these wild and wacky ideas could happen. So, but I don't know. Milanovich, to me, I don't know if it's going to be that great or not, to be honest. So
he's had success in the position. Obviously, if he was here, he had a completely different set of players.
Yes.
So it's hard to say.
He did have a relationship with Harris. Like there was,
and let's face it, Hamilton's doing better than we are.
Yeah, they are at this moment. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, even though Milanovic doesn't even like his quarterback. He's still
well,
pretty-
who does?
That's right. Yeah,
His
well,
mom.
join the club, Milanovic. None of us like him. That's right. Okay.
Overalls.
Any other ones we can take out of there, Superfan, before we move on?
So Ken also has a point about contracts, and that is that Shiver's got a 2-year deal, which means there would be one contract to pay out. That's assuming he's gone.
Yeah, that's assuming. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Very true.
And a little bit of history Blake brings up. First time in modern CFL history, no Alberta teams. ABC is officially over. This is the first time since Calgary joined in 1945 that Alberta has not been represented in the playoffs. So we're talking before the CFL, which started in 1958.
Wild.
Yeah, the last time that no Alberta teams were in the playoffs, it's because of World War II.
Oh, well, that's a fairly good
And there
reason.
were no Alberta teams because,
World
Yeah,
War II.
because
World War II.
Right. Yeah,
Wow.
that's a bad sign, eh? If we both didn't make it, then
Huh?
I guess World War III is next year. So be careful.
Let's not.
Jeez. We're not going to get in that conversation, but we are going to say that yes, it is very sad. No Alberta team. I said this last year. I just wanted Calgary to suck and us to be just enough to get in, just so that we could say we did and they didn't. Like after it's been so long.
Well, we have an opportunity, and we'll talk about that later in the show, where we can do something again we haven't done since Calgary last missed the playoffs.
Oh, yes, we will
So-
talk about that. We will talk about that. Any other questions you want out of there, Superfan?
Well, we have a lot of stuff in here.
Yeah,
Love it.
This is something I think we should bring up, not related to the game, but related to someone we all love. Big love out to JMO tonight. He posted on X earlier. His brother passed.
Oh, JMO,
So,
we are thinking of you.
Absolutely.
Oh, my.
That is got to be one of the toughest things. So our hearts go out to you for sure.
Absolutely. All the positive vibes, JMO.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Okay.
That
Yep.
is
Do we have a happier one in there?
happier one.
Can we argue about something again? I'd rather that. I don't
Let's
know if
argue. Cosmin Grubar wants to know, what was the prop bet again last week?
Yeah.
The prop bet was number of EE rushers, and the line was 3.5, which ended up being an amazing line.
Yeah.
And we all picked over, and
We were
was
all
3.
wrong. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Yep. Now the thing is, if I'd have known that Kevin Brown was going to be the healthy scratch, I probably would have gone under. But I
Right.
thought all 3 were going to start. So whatever. Happens.
they
That's
also-
what happens with prop bets.
They do have those plays where a receiver comes along, but in this time it was Javon Leak. So
Yeah.
I'm like, come on.
Didn't
get
get
that
that
D
fourth
match right.
guy. Yeah, no, didn't get the fourth guy.
And nothing from MBT either. So
No, he did not. He did not take off and run this game.
yeah.
All right, got one more. Or are you good?
Oh God, what do we have? We have so many things.
I know, right?
Some exciting stuff from Mr. Capper.
Oh,
GC flights booked, hotel book.
oh,
See you in Van City, CFL fam.
exactly. Oh, very exciting, very exciting. It is only a few weeks away where we get to meet up with
Crazy.
all of our CFL family again in Vancouver. I am very excited to see everybody and to partake of all of the party fun out in Vancouver. All right, Superfan, are you all set for the return? All right, here we go.
It's time for Hold and Tell.
That is
Whee! Do you like that?
I do. I also like the jaunty angle you've got your hat at.
Well, I really just want to fit in the CFL. That's what I'm looking for.
It's true.
Is it working?
It is so working.
All right.
Awesome.
Sure.
Yeah, it's been a
Hit
while
us
since
with
we've had
it.
this. I did
Has
want to
been.
say a big thanks to picking this bad boy up.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. It was clearly not much good luck. So I'm hoping that next week it's going to be a little better for us. So, anyway, this week on Old Man Yells at Clouds, we're going to talk about things that I'm mad about.
You got a lot of problems and you're all going to hear about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's cold and there are wolves after me. One of the things, a lot of the things in my collection are things that they don't really even make anymore. Programs aren't made anymore. Pocket schedules aren't made anymore. Can't get those magnet schedules.
Yeah.
But one of the things I and a lot of other people, in fact, it's got a bit of a renaissance lately, are ticket stubs. I'm sure a lot of us remember back in the 2015-ish era, we had the lovely card. I still love those. It was something physical, something tangible you could use to scan to get in. It was a lot quicker getting into the stadium. Be nice if we could kind of go back. So I'm going to sort of go back over time on some of the ticket stubs for games at Commonwealth and before. So
should we do this?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Some people remember some of these beauties.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some classic, really good graphic work on this as well. The entire series was people sort of split in half their everyday jobs and then their EE fandom, which I thought was a really
what year was that one?
What year is this one? Is this 2018, I think?
18? Okay.
Yeah, might be.
They still had actual tickets at that point?
Yeah, or no, maybe it's even earlier than that. Before that, no, maybe that was 2012. Might be. It was a while ago.
Okay.
And then we have 2008.
Oh,
they had various people. I think that's actually the head of the cheer team right now.
Oh, look at that.
Coach.
Wonderful.
Kind of cool. Going a little further back, I think that's 2001.
Oh, Terry.
Lots of players back then. Now we're going back to sort of the 90s. Lovely graphics with those helmets on there.
Wow.
Those great. Another great thing about the 90s is we had the Knothole Gang tickets. So stuff like, there we go. Woodward's was a sponsor of the Knothole Gang. KFC was a sponsor of the Knothole Gang.
Wow.
All these different sponsors.
Sponsored by KFC.
Red Arrow.
Right.
And Capital City
Savings.
Well, that's sort of I love having those just because it reminds me of all the different sponsors we had back in the day. Back when we got into the 80s, you had a lot more photography and less about the illustrations, but still very cool. Each time you played a team, it was their team on the tickets. You could sort of see there.
Oh,
that's kind of cool.
And then even before that, here we go, 1982.
Some fans. Look at there's you as a kid.
I'm sure I was in the bars already. This
in 82? That's impressive.
Well, you know. I have about 600-700 tickets in the collection. Of all of them, this one is my favorite.
Okay.
And this is from August 23rd, 1978. This is the last game at Clark Stadium.
Wow.
But most importantly, these were our seats. So I only managed to save one set of ticket stubs from when we went, and we were at Clark in section E, row 20, seats 34 and 35. So that's kind of special.
That's awesome.
When they go a little further back, a little less illustrations.
Yes. But look at that lovely logo. Oh,
isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
That's 1969. Again, not the most exciting design.
Sorry.
But still pretty cool. 1962.
Oof, my.
Again, they had a little more of the illustrations there. In the 60s, sort of 62, 3, 4, they would have sort of a illustration of a football player, and it was different every year. So
$4.02 to go to that game.
Yeah.
Wow.
1959. Again, you can see that illustration there.
Wow.
$2.
$2. Yeah, Tootie gets you in.
Jeez.
And the oldest one in my collection, no illustrations whatsoever, but this is 1953.
Wow. Holy cow.
Yeah.
It's not even like it's just like a 50-50 stuff.
Yep,
from the
exactly.
Old days, wow.
We should also look so good 71 years later, right?
That's very true. It's very true.
You can also even find occasionally things like these are sort of folded in half, but you get the idea. Entire sheets.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So you can see there's no tickets on here. So they had these extras made up in case somebody lost or damaged their tickets and you could reprint them. But I think I've got a full set from 83 to 99
Oh, wow.
of
Holy cow.
the full sheet. So it's kind of cool.
That full sheet there, that was what, 97 with the
That was
Bears?
96.
96. I was close.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
Yep.
thing is, I didn't give examples of these, but most of them have multiple colors. Like for instance, this set here, there's gold and there's green, depending on where your seats were, the price point and that sort of thing. So
Oh, cool.
Oh.
Well, that's
Yeah.
kind of wild. Oh,
yeah, maybe
man.
next time we'll do Grey Cup tickets, and a lot of them each year there were 3 different colors depending on the price. So someone could tell if you were in the right section based on what color your ticket stub was.
Oh, cool. Wow. That's awesome. Well, thank you, Edmonton football history.
That's all right.
Appreciate that. It was outstanding as always. Let's get to our next thing, which is our game. I like the hat toss.
The tip of the
that's
cap?
Perfect. Yeah, tip of the cap. Game. Yes, Kayla?
No, it's at 1.
Oh,
Yes, it is.
Oh, I thought it was at two.
They changed it.
It's at 1.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Morley announced it today as well.
Well, that's see, I did not update my my little graphics here. So Elks at Stamps Saturday at 1 p.m. I will have to listen to it on the radio then because I am driving up north on the weekend for Thanksgiving. So I will be on the road for that, but that's okay. I get Dave and Morley. Now I believe, is this the first game where it's on 880?
It
Or
is.
it still on-
Yeah,
I think he
switched
said
over
Wednesday.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
So make sure you are checking it out on 8:80 a.m. with our good friends Dave and Morley as they call the Edmonton Elks taking on the Calgary Stampeders for the 3rd time this season. They are up 2 games to zip against the Stamps. And as you were saying, Mike, this is the first time since 2002 that the Elks have the ability to win all 3 games against the Stampeders this season. And that was the last time they missed the playoffs? Oh,
No, 2004 was the last time, but we also swept them that year, but we only played them twice.
Okay, perfect. So this is kind of fun.
Opportunities.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
No, wait, I'm not spoiling anything.
Well, we're not really spoiling. Yeah, well, we'd
We can
love to
spoil
be
it for
spoiling
Toronto.
whatever
There
we're
we go.
saying. Yeah, exactly. All right, put your prop bets in the chat below.
bets.
See if I say that slowly, I can say it properly. So put them down there. We will get to that when we do our pick'ems. For now, what are we watching in this game? Actually, the news did come out today. I should get to this first. That Jarius Jackson did announce that Trey Ford will be starting the final 2 games, and MBT not even dressing for the game this
Jarrett
coming
Dagey.
Saturday. Jarrett Dagey will be the backup. So what do you make of that?
This is when we had our chats, of course, as we do. This is what I wanted to see. Like at this point, there is nothing really to play for this year other than pride and just finishing off the season strong. But what are we doing next year? I mean, at some point next year, MBT is going to be 37 years old. That's old for a quarterback. That's old for a football player that's not a kicker, basically.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Tom Brady notwithstanding clause.
Careful, our good friend is going to be 38, Dean, but he's a kicker, so it's okay.
Right. I'm just saying, for a
Perfect.
kicker,
Okay,
it's not. But for a quarterback, that's definitely getting up there. And we have a few of them too, with Trevor Harris is also going to be getting up there.
Yep.
Bo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bo is
Colorado's-
36.
Yeah. I mean,
I think, yeah.
Bo's got to be up there. He was dressed in the 2012 Grey Cup 12 years ago. So
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's I'm not saying that I am not hang on. I want to word this the right way. I'm happy that Trey is getting the start.
Yep.
I'm happy that he's getting the ability to show what he can do.
Mhm.
I don't know about MBT not dressing. Like, to me, that just seems like, okay, you might as well, why don't you just announce you've moved on then? Like, it's one thing if he
we know what
dressed
we
as the
have with
backup.
him though.
But yeah, like,
But we don't know what
Yeah.
Jared Deggy. Is it worth bringing Jared Deggy back next year?
yeah, fair enough. Fair
We
enough.
need to know that, right? This is at this point. We
It's
need
extended training camp. Yeah.
to know. It's a bit of extended training camp, and just but this is getting to play with live bullets,
Yes.
which
Yeah,
you
very
don't get in preseason and training camp, right? So, I mean, you get with preseason, you get live bullets, but it's not the same because half those guys aren't going to be playing in a couple of weeks. So,
Yeah. Well, the good thing is that now I know Toronto might rest players, but there is an opportunity that Toronto may be trying to still get a home playoff game.
right.
So the good thing for me about this with Trey too is that this week he goes against a team that he should be able to beat. So he better beat him. And not next week because it's a bye, but the week after, he has the opportunity to actually go against a good defense and see if he can actually do the same thing. So
Right.
if Toronto isn't resting guys, that could be interesting. So,
And like you say, like they're right now in third place, 1 point out of second.
mhm,
They need to win.
they sure do. Yep, absolutely. What are your thoughts, Commissioner?
Well, let's go back to my whole frustration about the confusing way this team operates. Because it was only yesterday that J-Jack said to Morley, I don't want to give anything away to help Calgary prepare for this game.
Yeah,
Not
but-
only 24, not even 24 hours later, you announce a starter, which is Tuesday, which is now they're coming to practice. I understand with media, you're gonna see who is getting first reps and all that stuff. I get that. But then just say it. Just freaking say it. Like, or if you haven't decided, just say we haven't decided. Don't say we don't want to have Calgary to have something to prepare for. Like, baloney.
If you thought about that, you wouldn't have announced Trey as
Well,
the starter
that's
2
just
weeks
like
before Winnipeg.
Exactly. Well, and that's just it. It's like flip flop, flip flop, flip flop, and that's my biggest frustration right now with how this team is operating and how they conduct themselves, like in interviews or just whatever the case. Like, obviously, I don't know if there's miscommunication or what have you, but it's so frustrating not to have like a linear, streamlined way of announcing things or like saying how this team is going to go from here on out. Like, it's just, and at this point, does it like, is it now just advertisement for other teams to poach Trey?
Well, I mean, who knows? But I guess that we'll have to.
Everyone
And
knows
that's
what
just
Trey
it.
is.
No
Can
one
do.
knows. And that's just it. No one knows. Well, yeah, kind of, but not really.
Yeah.
Because
You know
we haven't got to see him operate like we know what he's good at for running.
Mhm.
But when, again, I'm going to go back to like being a pocket passer. Like, he was improving, but then when he was pulled out of the game, which was 10-10, and yes, he was having a terrible game, but the game was still tied when they pulled him. I just like this is where I get frustrated because it's like, oh, what's the point? Hopefully it's good for Trey. Hopefully he does get reps and there's value that he can that he's showing because he deserves to play.
Yes. Yeah.
As
I'm
Jerry
just
says here,
frustrated.
that Jarius expects Deggy to get some playing time as well.
Okay.
Again, we need to know at this point. I understand that it would have been better had Jarius said yesterday, I'm not ready to make that call yet. We'll see what happens tomorrow and then make the announcement.
Mhm.
Because he had to make an announcement today because Trey got all the first string reps. So
Well,
at that
exactly.
point, you knew it was going to be Trey.
Just choose your words.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've had enough in the history of this team with people choosing bad words or choosing their phrasing poorly.
You don't say.
I do. I do
You
say.
do. Okay. Yeah, do say.
Blake does have an interesting question, though.
Okay.
Is it worth it to start Trey in fantasy?
I love that.
I
I mean,
sure. I'm out, so I don't care. Whatever. Pick whatever you want.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's coming.
lament.
All right, let's talk about what we expect in this game, though. Now we've gone through the quarterback stuff. What are you watching for in this game? In this opportunity to take a third game from Calgary, Commissioner?
Oh my gosh! Like, just take them out. Everything that
At
you
the
wanted
knees.
to do, everything that you wanted to do and maybe couldn't do or didn't do, just drive it home. Get that run game absolutely established and full throttle. Put all three out there. Have Trey be able to use himself in the pocket. Okay, so you got to use some receivers to get that going. But oh my gosh, like come on, let's just go annihilate them.
JWB, just win, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Like at this
Caleb
point,
just
who cares?
said sweep the leg. Like I feel like that's what just happened. Like it's
Oh, there will be blood.
just
I
like
feel like I need to go to
Johnny.
Calgary now. I feel like I need to go to Calgary now just to be in the stands and cause like some ruckus.
There'll be a
one
lot of
thing-
coming from there.
Well, yeah, I mean, and this is like really the time to just have fun with the game too. You know, like you have those little tricks. Yes. I can do that myself. Thank you very much. I don't need a machine.
I am the machine.
I hope you go to Calgary. I'm going to be watching for you starting a ruckus.
And we'll see. But yeah, I mean, those like tiny hints of trick plays and like different styles. Well, these two games, who cares? Utilize it. Don't be fancy. Let's be fancy.
Fancy.
But also let there be blood.
Okay.
There will be blood.
That's right. Sweep the leg. Superfan Mike.
Yeah,
You
I
watch
want to
it.
see a team that is a little loose, but a little wanting to get the fans excited for next year, because it's all we got left now is next year.
Mhm.
And if we were to just roll over and play dead and lose the next couple of games, limp into the off season, that doesn't really inspire a lot of confidence for players, for fans as well as the players. So I'd love to see it. Leanne has a great point. If MBT is out and Trey is
Mike just froze. If MBT is out and Trey is in, then can they also pull Beatty and put Dean in? Just because I'd rather see that, and it's clearly about what I want.
Yeah.
Oh, sarcasm. Love it.
I wasn't saying that last part because, you know,
I'll say it for you.
obviously.
Obs.
Okay.
Obs.
Nope. The only reason that I see they can't do that is a salary cap reason. The
Why?
200, they have to pay Dean no matter what, or they have to pay Beatty either way.
Yeah.
And whether he plays or not.
Mhm.
And so I think with the signing of AC Leonard, that kind of ate up a lot of the last available cap, and that would be how they'd have to pay Dean. I love the idea. I just don't I don't see it happening solely because of that. But if it wasn't for that, wholeheartedly, yes, please play Dean faithful and show that he's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, he missed one kick, but he didn't miss all the important ones. They still won the game. Yeah. He's never missed a point after, never dinged it off the stupid upright. Anyway,
Yeah, sorry. When was that?
I might be bitter. Maybe.
Was that in the third?
No. Yes, it was in the third. No, it was in the
Beatty?
Beatty.
I'm sure.
Yes, that was in the third. Yeah.
Yeah. As much as we've tried to wipe it as much as we can, but
Brutal.
yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, that's a good point with the salary cap because, well, yeah, because I mean, you can't 6-game anyone anymore. Like the season's over,
right. Yeah. Exactly.
But honestly, like, if you're saying I don't want to pay an extra $5,000 that we're going over the cap, and not knowing what we've got, that to me seems pretty slim.
Yeah, I agree, but I have no idea how far they're. You know, are they at the cap? Are they already over? Are they?
God, how sad is it if we are?
Yeah, right? Like we might be. We paid a quarterback $500,000. Like, so who the hell knows? Right?
We paid a kicker $200,000.
Correct. So, and Gino,
But
don't get me wrong,
prorated
Gino's
over.
great, but Gino 300. So like that's $1 million out of our $5 million with three
But
guys.
Dean's getting what, like couple of
Oh, I-
thousand a game.
I know. I understand that. I'm
So-
just you don't know where that's Shabaz's realm. That's not our realm.
Yeah,
That's the
100%.
mofo. Yeah.
Is that only from moving someone from the practice roster onto the active roster and not the reverse?
Well, it doesn't matter at this point. Like the practice roster, you can pay anyone anything you want. Generally, it's a small
I
amount. It's a
see.
stipend.
Yeah.
And most people that are on the PR have two salaries. They have what you're getting on the PR, which is your stipend, and what you get for a game check.
Right.
And so if Dean is getting, say, just put out a number, 5,000 a game, which would be what, 90,000 a year. Okay, he's getting less than that.
Yep.
Let's
Mhm.
call it 4,000 a game. So all of a sudden we're paying $4,000 more against the cap for him to play in the game because we already have to pay BD a salary because
Yeah.
he's a veteran.
But not like the reverse. Like this is just hypothetically speaking.
Right.
I'm going to use MBT just because he's not dressing, but this is hypothetical because they're already paying him his like guarantee, his contract.
Yep.
But like if you had someone who was just absolute garbage and you didn't want him as a starter anymore, would you be able to throw him on the practice roster? Or would he still be like guaranteed that money as a starter? Even if
After a certain point, veterans are guaranteed their salary.
Okay.
And I think
Veterans.
it's around
So-
Labor Day. And then, so anyone that's played more than a year,
Okay.
which is
Right.
2/3 of the team.
Good
Yep.
to know. Cool.
But at this moment, if they turned around and said, "Well, Devondrick, you're not playing this game. You're going on the practice roster," he would go on the practice roster and make whatever his practice roster amount is.
Right.
Right. As long as
Yeah.
he agreed to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. He would have to.
He
agree
could
to
say, no, you got to cut me.
it. Correct. Yep. Yep.
Unfortunately, now with the rules, if he is cut, he cannot be picked up by another team.
That's right. Yes. So yeah, it's that's another
Trade deadline
whole-
is come and gone.
It has. Yeah.
Oh,
Quietly as per usual. Yep.
I need a
Yes.
whole book about this.
Well, except for Jeshrin Andrew, I guess, going to BC, but that was
That was at the trade because the trade
Was-
deadline was this last week, wasn't it?
yeah, it was he went at right at the trade deadline, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. Yeah. So all right. So great conversation on that. What
Yeah.
I am looking for in this game, I just want to see some complimentary football. And offense scores, defense stops. Like not, offense scores, other offense scores. Like our defense stops and offense doesn't punt.
Two and
Like,
outs,
they
yeah.
actually get, I just want to see a
We
little
l-
bit of
yeah.
that.
We love
Like-
Jake. We
Yeah,
do.
Absolutely.
But we don't need to see him on the field 9 or 10 times a game
No, like
unless he's
4 is
holding for
good.
PATs.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Dean's holder. That's why we want to see Jake right now. And maybe 2 punts just because they're beautiful. I want to see.
Right.
them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he needs to hit the speaker. I feel like
He almost did.
He almost did. It was so close.
Ah,
Yeah.
damn
Yeah. That's only funny if it's Ben
Ben
Major being the
Majors?
ref.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Although I don't remember what the other guy's name
That
is.
was
but
pretty
the
fun.
other, the other
Blah,
guy
blah,
that
blah.
said, "There's nothing else that I can say that Ben hasn't already." Blah blah
Right.
blah. Replay the down.
That
That's
was pretty
fantastic.
awesome. It's
Yeah,
gonna be interesting at Grey Cup.
Yeah, 'cause
Being
it's
played
right
there.
Yeah. Yeah. So that could be interesting.
That's right.
Yeah,
Ooh.
lots of fun. All right. So let's get into some pick'ems, shall we? Pick'ems. Some good ones this week. Last
Yeah.
week, Kayla and Mike, you went 1 for 3,
Ooh.
and I went 2 for 3.
Yeah. Dead
So-
last.
Yes. So Mike, you are at 38 and 32. I am at 40 and 30, and Kayla, you are at 43 and 27 with 3 weeks left.
Still a
to
tight
be
race.
picking. Yeah, it is a tight race. So week 19 starts with Toronto visiting Manitoba to play the Blue Bombers, who have now secured the number 1 spot, I believe, in the West. Toronto fighting for which spot they will have in the East. So
No,
what
I
you
think
got?
Winnipeg hasn't secured it yet
Oh,
I
they
thought
haven't
they-
secured it yet. I thought
because
they did.
Saskatchewan
Oh, I
has
thought
that tie.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. So
Or was it just like they're in the playoffs?
They have
They're in the
secured a
playoff.
home playoff spot. Just
Yeah.
they haven't secured
Yeah.
first place.
First, right? Okay.
okay. All right, Commissioner. Toronto versus Winnipeg. Who you got?
Well, golly, since they haven't secured that first, I was thinking maybe they were going to sit some players, but I don't know. Maybe half the game they will. Ooh. I feel like now if I pick against Winnipeg, just kidding. Like I'm not picking Toronto, but like at the
Winnipeg
same time,
it is. All right.
yeah,
Both teams have something to play for.
yep.
Exactly. Superfan?
Sorry. Is it
Oh.
in Winnipeg?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sticking with Winnipeg.
Okay.
Sold out.
Yep. Will be. Superfan?
Yeah, again, like I said, both teams have something to play for. Toronto currently is in third, and 1 point out of second, which is a big deal because then it's a home playoff game.
Yep.
Whereas Winnipeg needs to win one of the next 2 games to guarantee they are in first place, or Saskatchewan has to lose or tie one of the next 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, the last game Winnipeg plays is against Montreal, which possibly could be a Grey Cup preview. So I think they're going to, and plus they have a bye week next week. So they're going to give it all this week, take the bye to sort of rest up for the Montreal and then the playoffs. So they might get a couple of buys in there. So I'm going to go with the Bombers.
All right. Well, we're not getting any closer to Kayla on this one because I'm also picking the Bombers because I will not pick Toronto. We already talked about that. I'm not even going to revisit it. BC versus Saskatchewan. This one is in the rectangle. Superfan. Who do you got?
Oh, well, I can't pick Saskatchewan. So I am going to have to take, Blake's favorite quarterback, Nathan Moore, and the BC Lions.
Oh, it's outstanding. I know BC won last week. They weren't really impressive, though.
No.
Not a lot offensively. I mean, Sean White.
They were impressive defensively.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns. Or no.
Yeah, I was happy to pick that defense, even though it didn't help me very much at all. It's true. It's Saskatchewan at home. They have something to play for. I got to go Saskatchewan. I hate it, but I have to go Saskatchewan.
It's okay.
Commissioner?
Doesn't BC have something to play for too?
They do. They have an opportunity to make sure that they're getting their home playoff game. Like this pretty much whoever wins this game is likely to finish second and get a home playoff game
in Saskatchewan. Oh,
and that tie basically puts Saskatchewan ahead of BC.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I'm going green.
I love the storyline. Yeah.
I'm going green.
There we go. I got a chance to catch up.
Oh my. All right. Final game other than our own is Ottawa making the travel over to Montreal for the Thanksgiving game. So this one
gobble.
Yeah, it it's a tough one, but I feel like this is one of those ones that Montreal is an official sellout at Percival Molson for the Thanksgiving Day Classic that Tim Capper was telling us. I do think that this is Montreal's game. I feel like this is kind of like how Calgary mostly wins Labor Day because it's at home. It's just that it's that hype. It's all those things. And I think Montreal's just going to do the same thing. So I'm going to go with Montreal on this one. Kayla?
I feel like there's going to be an upset.
Oh.
But I know I kind of want to be that. Wait, what is Ottawa's record right now? Sorry.
Excellent question. I believe it is 8 and
because they were on a bye, right?
Who's this?
Ottawa.
Ottawa is 8-6-1.
8-6-1. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Whereas Montreal's 11-3-1.
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
Don't forget they have won because they tied each other.
Correct. That's true. No, didn't they tied each other? No, I thought.
No. Wait.
No. They
Saskatchewan.
Ottawa tied No. Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan tied Calgary, didn't it?
And Montreal tied Calgary. That's
right,
what it was.
that's it. Yeah.
And okay, Montreal would be sitting anybody quite yet. You would.
I doubt it,
they're
but they
like-
might.
Oh gosh. Okay. I'll go with Montreal, but I just feel like there's going to be an upset.
Okay.
I don't know.
Superfan?
I don't know.
Yeah, in this case, I think no, Montreal has Montreal clinched the division? Yeah, they have. They clinched the
Yes,
division.
they have. Yeah.
Both of them coming off a bye. I still got to go with the home team in
Okay.
this case. I think Montreal's going to take this one.
All right. All right. Time to get into our prep bats. So what do we got for options for the prop bet this evening? And Kayla, it's your turn to pick because Mike picked last week. So
Okay.
Woohoo! Thank goodness. So far, just a couple in there. I'm hoping people will be typing whilst we go through this.
wildly
so from-
typing.
Whilst. So Jerry says, prop bet. I want to see Trey play Trey football. So rushing yards for Ford.
Okay.
That's
That is a
one.
good one. Okay.
And another one from Jerry. Punting average for Jake. And I did ask, is he saying net yards or overall? He said overall. I can't trust CFL stats to calculate that.
that is fair. That is fair. Okay.
Have we done that one?
We have not done Jake overall punting yards.
Oh, well, you're going to
Punting average. Punting average.
Oh, punting average. Oh, I thought he said punting
Nope.
yards. Okay.
He said punting average for Jake.
Oh, punting average for Jake. Okay. All right. All right. So any other ones in
Any
there?
one?
Not yet. Oh, wait, there we go. Poop boots. Trey official cheat code.
Trey official cheat code. That's not really it's up down left right AB start. There
Yeah.
we go. Yeah.
So far, nothing else has come in. That
Okay.
gives us a chance to sort of look at what Jake's average is right now.
It's 54.7.
Wow.
I can tell you that. MOP. Wait, where is it? There it is. Jake Julian for MOP.
Most outstanding punter.
Yep.
All right. Well, since it's Trey's first game back, hopefully for the most of the game. I know. I know he needs reps too, but I'm just saying. Selfishly.
Is it rushed a lot?
Yeah, he hasn't. Yeah.
Well, that's what makes it a little bit more mysterious.
It's true.
I know. I was like, I don't have a beard, so well,
Out of the three of us, you're the only one that can't actually do that. But
It's like the drummer from ZZ Top. His last name is Beard, but he doesn't have one.
All right. So you doing
we'll
Trey
go
Ford
Trey.
rushing?
Yeah.
So
Trey rushing.
I just looked it up. To put it in perspective,
Okay.
he has a grand total of 92 yards this season.
Whoa.
Out of 5
All the
games?
games he played, yeah.
Okay.
So what is
Okay.
that?
So that's 20
17-ish
just under
yards.
20. Yeah, exactly. But it is Calgary.
Yeah.
They are playing against Calgary, and Trey has not had a chance to play against Calgary. Nor has he had a chance to play.
He has, not this year, but yeah.
Sorry, I meant this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a chance to play them this year. Tough one. All right. Well, I am going to go with. Let us go with, just because, and you'll understand this immediately, Mike. Because of his average and all those things, I'm going to say the Trey rushing line is 27.5 yards.
There we go. 27.
That's right. 27.5 yards. Over or under Commissioner Kayla?
I think I'm gonna go over
Okay. All right.
because I don't know what they're gonna do if they're gonna. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Super
I think
fan.
so. Yeah, slightly.
I'm going to go under for a couple of reasons.
Ooh.
One, because we got to catch Kayla. And two, because it feels in interviews like Trey is trying to distance himself from being the rushing quarterback.
Mhm.
Mm.
And in his games this year, he's had opportunities to run and has certainly run east-west, but not a lot of north-south, unless he absolutely has to. Plus, we're going to have Leak back. We will probably we're going to have Rankin back. Maybe we'll even have Brown, because again, we're paying them. So
yeah, exactly.
Someone's got to go in. So yeah, I think that they're going to sort of more focus on that and just keep that spy on Trey, which means that frees up other positions. So we'll see.
And I'm thinking the opposite because of that, our rushing.
Yeah.
That the spies are going to be off Trey a little bit more. Just kidding, Calgary. I didn't think that at all.
The first run from scrimmage will be like, 26 and a half yards.
Exactly.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
and then
exactly.
Run again.
That'll be it. Yeah. I am also taking the under on this one. Not by much. I think he's like 25.
I think he's 27.
Like, yeah, perfect. I love that. That would be perfect. God, if he was 20, I would just be like, yeah, that was the greatest line ever said. That's awesome. So 27, I am going under because I need to catch Kayla. All right.
That's fine.
All the rest of our matches are exactly the same. So
I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't.
Right. No. I meant between me
you and her.
Yeah. You picked some others. Yeah. So you have an opportunity.
We did. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Canadian Football Podcast Fantasy League. Screw it. Whatever.
It doesn't matter anyway.
It doesn't matter. Stupid damn.
I meant
fantasy.
to wear black today.
Piss me off.
Armband.
Oy, oy, oy. So I actually started a guy that didn't even play in the game.
Good
in
thinking.
Raquel Armstead. So
Ooh.
that was beautiful. That really worked out well.
Oh, you don't go back to check to see if there's.
It could be worse. It could be the old Ottawa Rough Riders and draft a dead guy.
Yeah, that's true.
What now?
Yeah. Someone died prior to the draft. Ottawa was not updated, so they drafted him.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know? Okay.
This is in the 80s when, communication is pre-internet, right? So
it's true. Yeah. They didn't get the
everything was in a magazine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
According to this magazine from
March.
Goodness.
Oh my. Congrats to our Rouge, White, and Blue brothers. They took down both of us. Not even one of us got through. So I probably had a chance if I'd have not started Armstead and started a running back that actually played. I might have had a shot. I only lost by like 7 points. So yeah. Oh, I was so mad.
You probably would have picked an Edmonton one anyway, so it's fine.
Yes, that's fair. Yeah, exactly. So
taken Leak or something. So
I think I actually had him.
No,
anyway,
that's
I had
great.
Yeah, I was really did well. Yeah. I had Nathan Rourke as my captain.
Excellent.
For 20 total points. Wonderful.
Hey, Zach didn't do much better.
And Os Davis had Brady Oliveira as his captain for 48 points.
Wow.
Oh my God. Anyway, little upsetting. So congrats to those guys, and best of luck to everybody along the way. It's always fun to play fantasy, and of course, as per usual, for me, same story as the Elks. Well, not really, but for me, same ending every year. Greatest regular season.
That is not us
ever. Yeah, no, that's just what I do.
Yeah,
and then the same ending as it was for the Elks. Not get joke.
Is Joe the reigning champion right now? Did he win last year?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
nice.
So it's all. No, you won last year.
No, I won 2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years ago. Okay, then it was Joe last year. Okay,
I didn't get my belt.
You never got your belt. I know.
No.
I know. They never share.
Oh, sad.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us, and thank you for the great questions. A great conversation tonight, you guys. I really appreciate the time and always the fun of talking football with you. No matter how horrible our team is, it's fun to chat about it. They will get better. They will get better. I feel it.
There's always tailgate, you guys.
There's always next year.
If you haven't experienced tailgate, you got one more.
We got one more
opportunity.
Shot. That's right. We got one more shot. All right. So where does everybody find us on the? Oh, yes. Happy Thanksgiving to you too,
Oh,
as
happy
well,
Thanksgiving.
Leanne, and
And everyone,
happy
yeah.
Thanksgiving to all of the CFL family that's joining us or listening, or has been by the tailgate, or we'll see you in a few weeks at Grey
Or
Cup.
can
All those,
spell tailgate, whatever.
whatever. We're fine with that. Yeah. Commissioner, where does everybody find you online?
On Twitter at Duchess Lombardi.
For how much longer is the next question?
Till Grey Cup, and then I'll take my my break.
And take your break. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds fair. Superfan.
You can find me at 56 Parkies and the Edmonton Football History account at EDMHISTOREE.
Outstanding.
Word.
And you can nice. You can find the show at the Turf District on all of the different social channels, or you can find me at Freepalicious on Twitter, and join us there for more hat ideas and Lego ideas and all those fun things. Wonderful as always for you guys to join. Follow our friends, Pay It Forward with Football, their event happening on October the 19th. Fundraising. It sounds like a great cast and crew that will be there to talk football for a fun evening. So check it out. Everything by following Pay It Forward with Football. We will be there's no overtime this evening, but thank you again for all the conversation during the show. And I do want to say thank you for joining along with us throughout the season. Of course, we are going to take a break next week with the bye week, and then we will be back the week after to set up we'll recap the Calgary game win. And then we will set up that final game against Toronto, and in a very exciting tailgate and all those types of things, which will be, of course, the best parts of the game. So join us in a couple of weeks for that.
I need to shout out Pocket Pigskin. I didn't realize that was him, but your t-shirt rocked, dude.
Okay.
That t-shirt was awesome.
What was his t-shirt? I missed it.
He was a Stamps fan, but he's going Elks because
beep
the Riders.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Pumpkin Pigskin?
That's
fantastic.
That's
awesome.
I'm pretty sure.
Fantastic.
I'm pretty sure I saw that on Twitter, and I was like, oh.
Oh, nice.
Wow. The two.
That was, it was great. It was a fantastic shirt.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to show up.
Oh, nice.
Very well.
Oh, there we go. Yep. That's wonderful. Love it. So yes, fantastic. Thank you for coming to join in the chili cook-off. Sorry we didn't get to actually meet, but thank you for being there, and hopefully we'll meet the next time you're up. So that'd be amazing. We are working as well on our season wrap-up show with Dave and Morley. We should have that hopefully before too terribly long after the season wraps up, and we'll still work on what our schedule will be throughout the Grey Cup playoffs. We'll figure that out as we get a little closer. So thank you again, everybody, for joining us. For Commissioner Kayla and Superfan Mike, I'm Andrew. Remember, you can't catch footballs with your face, and we will absolutely talk to you in 2 weeks.